Hello, Kristen.
Hi, Laura.
There is so much news, I don't know where to begin.
Do we start?
Where to begin? Well, I'll tell you where we could start. Craig Conover has a new lady.
I know.
Let's talk about her for quite a second. This woman's an influencer. However, can you imagine, though, just him announcing that he has a girlfriend and he's happy, and then the world explodes. Like, your relationship better be ready.
Yeah.
Because, damn.
So
her name is Natalie Buffett, and as I told you before, I got bad info. Somebody told me that she might have been related to, changes in attitudes, to Jimmy Buffett. No.
Margaritaville,
cheeseburger in paradise. But no, she is not related to Jimmy Buffett.
Mm-hmm.
There is no Margaritaville there.
Okay.
However, she does have some famous exes.
Yeah, they're some football players, right?
One NFL guy. I'm not even going to bother with the names because I don't think any of the Bravo listeners are really going to be that far into the NFL or the MLB. Mm-hmm. But a famous NFL guy, a Major League Baseball pitcher. She's an influencer.
Mm-hmm. That's her main thing.
That's
right?
her. Yeah,
she looks like a model to me.
She
gorgeous.
Well, I mean, she's something.
Yeah, right.
Clearly. I mean, and she went to Southern Methodist University.
Okay.
She's from Texas. And this is all I know.
Okay.
Those are like the top 5 things.
You did some good research.
Well, it was top 5 things you need to know about Natalie Buffett. Question is it Buffet or Buffett?
Buffet.
Or Buffett.
Buffett.
Buffet or Buffet?
I'm going to say it's Buffett like Warren Buffett.
Like Jimmy Buffett. Yeah, it looks like Buffett, but I like to say Buffet. Like Phoebe Buffet from Friends. Here's the thing. Craig, major, and I feel bad, but major upgrade from Paige. Sorry, Paige.
I'm sorry, Paige. Yeah, I agree.
Major upgrade.
We don't know anything about this girl, really, but appearance-wise,
if we're basing it on what we're seeing on her Instagram, whoa. Like, this is what annoys me about Paige. Paige tries to make it out that she's so super busy and whatever. Paige is lazy. I don't care what she says. I don't see Paige
I don't
pounding
she's
the
not
pavement.
A hustler to me. Do you see
jumped,
her as a hustler?
No. She got on this show. She got herself an agent. Maybe she does the bare minimum to move forward.
Yeah.
And listen, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. She's
famous.
She's failed up, as they said. Failed up.
She failed up. That's a good one.
Yes, she failed up. That's
a good
what they
one.
call it. That's just my opinion. Now, she could be, but I doubt it. From what we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, she shows up, she works, she's got her. She's an influencer in her own right with her, she's got an Amazon clothing line thing that she does.
Sure, she's an influencer. Anybody's an influencer who has an audience that's that's watching them, and then they can get on and influence people to buy stuff.
But you're right. She shows up to Summer House and she goes right into bed. And then she's like this in her bed with her phone.
Weekend.
So all weekend. And she gets up to eat and go in the pool.
Her and Sierra
make some funny jokes, and then she goes back to bed.
She's lucky she had like somewhat of a personality, but she is going to be. And as much as Craig annoys the piss out of me, because he really annoys me. Like, everybody just accuses Craig of lying all the time, because, Craig, if everybody's accusing you of lying, guess what? You're a liar.
You're a liar. But is he that bad of a liar? I don't know. Craig the liar. He stretched some things. He embellishes some things.
I see.
I think in his mind, he thinks what he's saying is the truth.
Right. Well, it's not a lie.
I don't think he's I don't know. Maybe
if you believe it, it's not a lie if you believe it.
Right.
All right. So,
but I am. You know what? When he said it on Watch What Happens Live, I was happy for him. Good.
Sure. I thought he looked like an idiot on that show, though. First of all, you can tell
with what he was wearing.
Paige is not dressing him anymore. He had on like a blouse with black turtleneck, and
it was a weird blazer.
Thank God he was wearing underwear, because he was in a thin layer of gabardine, I believe. So he was doing that.
he moved away from Paige's style. I will say Paige was really good with his style.
Paige is great. Let Paige, poor Paige, when the balloon lands, somebody with big hands and a big shoulder better be there to grab her. That's all I'm saying. Or she can go live with Hannah, Burner, and Diz. Oh, God, Hannah Burner drives me up a wall.
I know you do not like her.
Up a wall. So we've got enough.
I know nothing about her. I didn't watch Summer House when she was on it. So all I know is the Giggly Squad. That's something. She's a comedian.
She's not a comedian, but she tries to be. She's not a comedian. Okay. So we've got enough about Paige and Craig and both of the shows. So little Jack Hunter Lychee was born, like the lychee martini.
Yes.
Lychee. He looks just like Abe. He's got Abe's exact face.
Yeah.
That weird lip thing, whatever that is. But he looks just like Abe. I mean, not saying he's not a cute, adorable kid.
He's adorable. But Abe is not. Now, I don't know. Everyone was always like, oh, he's like one of the hot house husbands. He's really not.
They also said Mauricio was a hot house husband.
Mauricio's better than Abe. If I had to pick.
Mauricio has gotten better over the years.
I don't see it with Abe.
I don't see it with Abe. And I also kind of don't. Mauricio's had 10 years to glow himself up.
Okay.
I mean, and
he looks better now than he used to because he's more in shape.
Yeah, people have had glow ups over the years.
Okay.
Abe the Babe, no.
He's not a babe.
He's not Abe the Babe.
I never
Erin
ever
is
saw
Jennifer
that.
Aniston. That's who she reminds me of.
Yeah, she has that look.
Kind of your every girl next door kind of a thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And we are happy for them. They had the little baby. So glad he's healthy and happy and looks like his daddy. Because we know that she didn't get pregnant by, I don't know, Rebecca Minkoff's husband. Yeah, right? Wasn't that the whole thing? Rebecca got knocked up by somebody else. Oh, that was so stupid.
Was so terrible.
Oh, I can't even go back there. New York.
Can we not go back
New
there?
York changed forever.
They didn't make no announcement about New York, right?
We don't know announcement about nothing.
Pause, I guess.
No, I don't think is it on pause? No.
I don't know, but they didn't talk about the cast.
Pause.
Yeah. Oh, so the cast is still
But we
status
know they
quo.
are out there looking because we've seen the ads.
Yeah, we did.
They want somebody who organically fits in the group. But there's still all the press all over that Lindsay's going to New York.
Lindsay's going to go. I'm pretty sure she's going.
As she should.
She should. She's at the age. She's at the place in her
We
life.
don't want to see her playing pregnant volleyball at the summer house. No.
We don't want a crib in
How
the
much
summer
longer
house,
can summer house last? I don't know. I told you. We talked about this last week. I think there's a little bit of leverage with, Jesse. Really just Jesse. The more we see West, he's just like he's like a lead balloon.
Yeah, he's like a lead balloon. Yeah,
he's a lead balloon. He might have been interesting because he was liking Sienna, but without that, he's just like,
yeah, he doesn't afraid of his own shadow when he's around Sierra. So
he's too quiet. He doesn't have anything to
afraid.
say.
I think he's afraid to talk, but it's taking away from him on the show.
Well, he shouldn't have dicked over Sienna then, should he have? No.
I have thoughts about that. I really am getting annoyed with that whole thing.
Scenario. Well, we are going to talk about going to talk about Southern Charm and Summer House.
Yes.
One last thing. This weekend.
Tell us about this weekend.
So this weekend, I went to a friend's house up in somewhere up in the Berkshires, and it was about 20 minutes from Great Barrington. And when we were on our way back, I said, guess who lives in Great Barrington? Our friend Dorinda Medley.
Yes.
So we took a drive-by by the Berkshires. That's right, by Dorinda Medley's house. Her house, basically. That's her home.
Okay.
And there was no one around. It looked like there was nobody home. Not that we went close to it. I just did a video in front of the gate. And it's beautiful. I mean, I had to laugh because when you're driving in there, it's so deserted. I mean, you are it's in the mountains. The town of Great Barrington is fabulous.
I've been there. It's beautiful there.
It's nice. It's fun. Except, when you're driving there, it's I was just going back to Vicky and Tamara's reactions. Vicky's where are we going? Where are we going? We're in the car for 2 hours. There's nothing. There's no targets. There's no stores. Where are we going? Where are we going? I don't understand why there's nothing around here. So I was just getting a kick.
Yeah.
And then next to our house, it's just this massive field. And there was the stench of horse poop in the air. Oh. But that was because there was horses right across the street.
Sure.
So I did do a video.
So that's it's real country.
Oh, it's what you would call rural.
Rural.
Very rural. But I did take a video out in front, and I will, for those of you that have never been there or never find yourself in the Berkshires, pardon me, I'll post the video for you so you can see. But, it's nice. It's just kind of in the middle. It's just like a few minutes outside the town, and it's like on a busy road with no one on it.
Did you get the sense that anyone was in the
I did
house,
not get the sense that there was anyone home.
Okay.
Although her cars could have been in the garage.
Sure.
I wasn't really looking that much or, looking. I didn't hear anybody go, "Get off my property."
Because it would have been her.
It would have been Dorinda. "Get yourself out of here." Or, "Come on in. I made it nice. I'll make you something to eat. You want something to eat?" Mention it all. That's where it all went down in the berserks.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is my weekend. So we'll post that for you on Littler Podcast, LITLR Podcast on Instagram. And
well, that sounds so exciting.
It was fun. I mean, it's fun to see. I'd driven by, we went once. We go up there frequently to visit my friend, and every couple of years or every year, and we had driven by once, but we didn't stop, and I had seen it. So this time we actually stopped.
Okay.
And I'm surprised. You could walk up to the house if you were crazy enough. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I would imagine some people might.
Some ring camera might go off or something.
Well, hopefully there's some kind of security there.
There's a security.
For somebody who feels a little too comfortable and says, "Oh, I'm going to go up and say hi to Dorinda."
But they did. They are filming a show about Bluestone Manor.
Is it
Bravo's got a show going.
Oh well, it's definitely not
in
filming
the
now.
works. No,
yeah.
You know
what?
It wasn't now, but it might have filmed already. I don't even know what it's going to be about, but I heard that.
Yes, something. And also, she's rumored to now be, again, because she got booted off so early because of a big mouth, she's rumored to be on Traitors next season, along with Nene and Giselle. They're all rumored to be on.
Love
There's
that.
2 other housewives too. Somebody who's Margaret Josephs, who drives me nuts.
No, her?
And then someone else
They'll make
who's
her a traitor.
also rough. But I would think, and you know what? They're probably filming it right about now because it films like in the spring.
Okay.
So she could be over there. Who knows?
Sure.
She could be in Scotland again. She could be
wonder.
there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but it didn't look like anyone was
They're
home.
giving her a redo.
Well, she got off. I mean, she's good TV, so.
She was the very first one to get
Yeah, she was.
murdered,
she had
right?
her mouth.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You didn't wait for me. She was pissed that they ate the Mexican food without her. Anyway, let's see if you can keep yourself on this time, if in fact it is shooting, and if in fact you are on it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Dorin. But anyway, it was fun to see that. We'll post that for you.
Oh, yeah.
So let's get into
the summer
the house de Samarita, the house de la primavera. Oh, I can't speak Spanish. I think that's spring anyway.
Yeah.
Summer is what in Spanish? Juveneta?
God, I don't know.
I don't know. Samarita. Okay. So big question coming out of the summer house. All right. So we saw in the last episode that Jesse was all about Lexi, right? We continue on in the shipwreck party.
Yeah.
And we see Jesse going like, "Yo, I'm going to stay close to Lexi," even though he was flirting with Sierra. We can get into that. That's a separate issue. But at the end of the night, he's drunk.
Yeah.
He calls Lexi and says, and I quote, "Lexi, I jerked off before the party, so I wouldn't feel like attracted to other people, or maybe just wouldn't feel like bringing home like in rule like 2 chicks." And I'm like, Jesse, A, how disgusting, and B, how romantic.
I mean, he was
C,
drunk, but
how disgusting. Like, if I was Lexi, I would have hung up the phone and been like, "You're gross."
And she's probably like, "You did."
But
I don't hear what she was saying.
I know,
on the other end,
but she's like, "Oh, right," like some ridiculous. Like I thought it was like, "Oh, that's so not romantic. It's just so disrespectful." I don't know. I just think it's so gross.
Yeah, I know.
But then he proceeds.
It is gross.
I want to get your idea. Then he proceeds to hang up the phone and hear that Imrul, of course, Imrul never disappoints, brings home 2 chicks and is apparently having a threesome. And Jesse was like, "Okay.
Is that a surprise?
I'm going to walk in and see like what's going on in the threesome." And then it was like, I guess it was Imrul's idea for one of the babes, one of the future enterprisers of America, to suck his toe.
Yeah.
So
he was in there for almost 40 minutes.
37 to be exact. That was the exact number.
The exact amount.
So on Watch What Happens Live, they did a few polls. A, did Jesse betray Lexi by getting his toes sucked? And B, did he get more than just his toes sucked in the 37 minutes that he was in there? Your thoughts, Kristen?
I don't think he got more than his toe sucked.
Yeah.
Did he betray Lexi? Yes. What if she did that? What if he was gone for the weekend and she got her toe sucked by a guy?
Turn those tables.
Would he care? You know what? I don't know. Jesse's like hard to read a little bit with his emotions.
Not impressing
All
me.
he does is laugh, smile with his, what is it, pacifier mouth?
His pacifier mouth. And his pirate smile.
And that power Julia Robert megawatt smile. But the guy
also
doesn't
horse
take
face.
anything seriously.
He doesn't.
Nothing. And you know what? He doesn't have to.
He's a bag of trouble, though, I think. Right. He just got over his.
I mean, he could have faced death, right? I think you look at life completely differently when you go through something like that. I'm going to give him a pass.
I think Jesse is great for the summer house. He's just not great for girls right now, or for women.
No.
If you want to have fun, date Jesse. Date West.
Yeah.
If you want to get married and have a serious boyfriend, then you can date Craig. But these guys are there for a reason. Like, I just thought, I don't care who these girls are. Nobody is going to stop these two. Like, they're on a roll right now.
No, they're not relationship people.
Not yet.
Neither one of them. They're young. It's okay.
I don't know how young Jesse is. But yeah, he's youngish.
They're immature. I would say like they're 30 or 29, whatever.
Well, I mean,
they're like a young 29.
Yeah, young 30-something.
Yeah, they're not ready. They just want to party and flirt and maybe sleep with some girls. They don't want a relationship.
Sleep with some. I think West is like the entire Bravo fan base is women. Would I be stupid enough? If he didn't want to be in a relationship, with Sierra, and he's like, Lexi, because Jesse was like, Lexi's better than a foursome when he was saying that at the pool. And if he really thinks that, like, these are beautiful women. So if they're not going to keep their eyes from wandering, no one on the earth is.
No one will.
So, girls, just take a word from the wise.
That's a good point. Lexi and Sierra are stunning. Okay,
these are gorgeous.
They're like
gorgeous
10s.
Women. Exactly.
They are so much above the average girl. So
of course,
I'm sorry to say, but they are. So you're right. They're not going to go for them.
Right.
Give me a break.
So, did he betray her? Okay, sure. But he's known her for 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And at the same time, if you want a relationship, then don't date Jesse.
Yeah, no.
Don't date, as we said, as I made up the other day when I was rambling, jest. Yeah. Don't date Jesse and West. Just. They put their beds together. They are doing stupid shit. Like, just let them go.
Yes. He might have love bombed her in the beginning, Lexi, right? I love you. I don't know if he said I love you, but he was all over her, and she just swooped right in.
Well, Lexi was also saying, like, I've heard from Jesse every minute.
Yeah, that too.
So I think he really does like her. I think he just tries to play it off like he's Mr. Cool. He's like, I'm talking to these women. They just happen to have vaginas. Okay, Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very keen to walk out of the bathroom brushing his teeth with his fucking brajol hanging out of his whatever, his boxers. Like, all right, Jesse, we know that you think you're all that in a bag of chips. So anyhow, I'm getting less and less impressed with Jest.
Yeah.
As I watch.
Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. Bert and Ernie. So yeah.
But what are your thoughts on Sierra?
Sierra?
Who's the quote unquote
girl's
girl.
In what
right?
way?
Well, how do you think Lexi feels seeing this now with what Sierra's doing with Jesse? Now Lexi and Sierra, they're not like friends.
She just met her 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but still, would Sierra? I'm going to switch the tables again. Would Sierra like that if somebody did that?
But I didn't think their flirting was all that bad, and I also think this
pretty intense.
I think we're only seeing parts of it. Number one, I thought she did say he's like, so what do you think? I shouldn't. Lexi shouldn't stand in my way, when she was like, don't let anybody stand in your way. Don't let, Wes stand in your way of finding your wife. Anyone, Jesse Solomon. He's like, so I shouldn't let Lexi stand in my way. And she was like, no, I didn't say that. Like, so I think think she's treading the line a little bit, but this girl's been around for 2 weekends.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not, but listen,
That's
you
true.
you can have your opinion, and I don't know if we're seeing the whole bit of it. You know, they might do that intense flirting, and then she might be like, "Get away from me, Jesse. You remind me of my brother." They're not showing that.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. It's a playful flirting.
It is.
I get it.
I think it's kind of harmless because Sierra's not going to jump into bed with him.
Oh, no, she definitely wouldn't
She
do
waited
that.
a whole summer.
She definitely wouldn't do
before she let West, park the porpoise. So what are we doing here?
I'm kind of looking at it from Lexi's perspective a little bit. And again, if it were me and I was like gaga over this guy for 2 weeks, even if it was for 2 weeks, and there was another girl in the house that was playing, footsie with him and flirting and stuff like that when I wasn't there, I'd be a little like, what are you doing that for?
Also, think of it this way. This is my last point I'll make on it.
All right.
Sierra and our friend Paige are in bed most of the time. They probably don't even know that these two are flirting. They're probably like, get out. They go out for 2 minutes. Then they grab some food. Like, they probably don't even know what's really going on. And it's only been 2 weekends, and she's not even there.
I know.
So I think everybody should. But I hear what you're saying.
I'm kind of looking at it like
your eyes
and
are
I
open.
think I did.
You got your eye on Sierra, is what you're telling me. You see her.
I see her.
You see her, and I appreciate that.
And I'm looking at it that way. And I did like to see. I did feel for West when he kind of poured his heart out to Amanda.
Oh, right.
When Amanda kind of took him aside, he's like, I can't take it anymore. She's crucifying me.
Listen, he's a little bit of a drama king.
No, you know what though? I mean, he hasn't really been saying much at all, and then he finally let the emotions out. Like, what can I do to say I'm sorry? I didn't mean to. I'm a good guy. I'm not this dog. I mean, look. Last summer he love bombed her. I know.
No?
But were they in this very serious, intense relationship? I think they were in a situationship, and also I know the New York Times article just took it over the edge.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm going to sum it up in one sentence, Kristen.
Please.
West is not good looking enough to pull off this kind of behavior.
Okay, you're absolutely
period. So he is just not good looking enough. So if it was Jesse, or it was even Craig and his full Craigness now, or even Austin or Shep, who have the charm and charisma to go with the looks they have, which is what bumps them over the top.
Sure.
West does not have either.
He
has very little. He has maybe he's a 7 looks, and his charm is at -2.
7 is giving him credit.
So I can't even look at it with enough just to go, goodbye, West.
6.
Goodbye. Okay. You're driving me nuts. Goodbye. I can't even look at you. Do something great, and maybe I'll look at you, but I can't even discuss it.
Yeah.
These are my final words on the topic. Because I just find him he's just not good looking enough to enter the chat. That's it.
No, he's truly not.
He's better hang on to Jesse Solomon and make themselves a duo, because he doesn't have much shelf life without Jesse Solomon.
But he would be. There was I forgot who asked him. Would you mind if she moved on with somebody else? He's like, no, I hope she would.
Right. He wants her out of his orbit. He wants to be able to bang
with somebody
chicks
else, so that we could just be friends.
Right.
And
he
move
wants
on.
to be let her be in rule for a night. He would be thrilled.
Yeah, he wouldn't care.
Bring in a guy. He'll cook him dinner. He'll bring him some hot dog juice that he drank. I mean, he'll. Oh my God, that guy! I don't even know what to say.
Look. I'm with Imrul.
Mm-hmm,
the only thing I want to say. I'm reading things like he's giving me the ick. He's the F boy.
So
and
gross.
The orgy guy.
And he's not a young guy.
What? How old is he? 30s?
He's 35.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a tic tac.
So he's 35. Ish. Listen, I do think they're editing him though. That they're just showing this. There's got to be more to this guy.
I don't think there's more to this guy.
Really?
I don't.
He doesn't talk much. He doesn't do much. He just wants to bang a different girl every single weekend.
He bangs.
Okay.
He moves.
I'm feeling for him a little bit.
I'm not feeling for him at all.
I think all they're showing is this. This is probably 50% of what he's doing, and the other 50%. He's got to have a personality, this guy.
No, he doesn't. Do you think they hired him because he has a personality or has something to offer us other than his big, slimy body and his sex appeal? I don't think he's sexy at all. I think he's dirty and gross.
No, I don't really look at him like that either.
But do you think that Bravo was like, I think Imrul is going to be marvelous at chess.
Okay.
Let's have him use that chessboard that no one's touched in the summer house. No, they're hiring him to bring some sex back into the summer house.
Okay. All right. I mean, he might be a one and done. What do you think?
Oh, he's not
I would be
shocked if he comes back. But then again, what do I know?
Okay.
Craig and Kyle finally bury the hatchet after 2 episodes.
It was actually nice to see that.
Yeah,
I think Kyle even kind of apologized.
I think Kyle's getting the raw deal because even though Craig was like, I'll be right back. I'm just going to refresh my drink.
Oh, that was bad.
Was it 25 minutes? What is he giving psychological warfare off to Kyle?
He was reading his computer. He was
just a narcissistic asshole, or is he just dumb? He's just idiot Craig. He was eating chips. Like, what the?
Why was he doing that?
Because he was being a dick.
He wanted
to fuck around with Kyle.
He didn't want to talk to him. He didn't want to talk about it.
But
he didn't. I think he didn't want to confront the situation.
But then it was nice after Kyle apologized and he was just like, it was just, I let my emotions get the best of me. I have to not do that. And then Craig was like, look, I told you about it and then I did it. But then at the end, Craig was like, look, I'd be happy to support you again. So,
yeah,
and he had to do that just for Amanda.
Yeah.
Other than that, now that they're done, those two probably will never speaketh again.
Oh, yeah. When I went to that virtual reality event,
yeah,
he was talking negative about him and that was just a couple of weeks
ago. Because Craig...
So, yeah.
If everybody called, he's like, if you don't think I'm not... You called me a known liar. So, if you don't apologize for that... And he apologized for letting his emotions get the best of him, not for calling Craig a liar. Because, Craig, if everybody's calling you a liar, guess what? You must be a liar.
Yeah.
Or a stretch the truth teller.
Yeah. Stretch the truth teller.
One or the other.
Sure.
But I go with liar. I think Craig just... I don't know. I just still see him as skinny little annoying Craig, who now has a body on him. But he's skinny little annoying Craig from Southern Charm, who's an alcoholic and taking Adderall and doing drugs and just being annoying.
Yeah,
he's still annoying little Craig. As hot as he gets, he's still annoying Craig.
I do. He's annoying Craig. I still do like Craig. I want to ask you one more thing about the show. What did you think about when Paige and Ciara were in the bed?
Of course they were in bed.
First of all, there was a lot of inaudibles.
Well, I heard what they said.
Anyone to know what they were saying.
She was talking about Craig not being supportive.
Yeah, and he doesn't want her to. He hate. What did she say? He hates me.
She said when I'm shining, he takes it as like a personal affront to him that he's not happy, and he said something to the effect of that, well, the things you're doing are bigger than me, but I'm not going to say, are bigger than what I'm doing, but I'm not going to say that on air. And she's like, why? And he was like, because it would come off negative. And she said, for you maybe, but not for me. It would validate me. And she was basically, she must have already told Ciara she wants to break up because Ciara was calling him a hater.
Yeah.
Hater.
Yeah.
Paige,
he's a secret hater.
Yeah.
That's what Paige was saying too.
I don't know if I believe that about Craig.
I think they're taking it too far. I really do.
Well, now we're seeing the fallout from her side.
I know. And we see the fallout from his side on Southern Charm. I get it.
Right. And we're seeing both. And, we're going to talk about the reunion because there was a lot said there. But I literally can't talk about these two fools anymore. It's
we're getting
Paige
tired of
is her prime is ending. As soon as this Giggly Squad tour ends, or it's ended now, probably, she maybe has a year or two. But the minute Summer House goes off, I don't know how she's going to sustain. I don't know. Maybe
we're talking about the Giggly Squad tour. This is like a Led Zeppelin tour.
Right. It's
boom,
guaranteed.
Craig went on tour too.
Right. Pillows and beer.
His podcast. He's got his successful
He has a
business.
Major company.
He has a
Put
major
it this way.
company.
If you bumped in.
You would almost think if you didn't know these two, that Paige is really dating a loser. He's
not
a loser.
If you bumped.
This is the side that I'm not buying this so much.
If you bumped into anybody on the street, not anybody, but I'd say 1 in 5 people on the street would let's make it 1 in 2 in 10. 2 in 10 would know what Giggly Squad was.
Okay, yeah.
And Yeah. I would imagine a lot of those people are here in New York City. You have to watch Bravo. You have to watch Summer House. You have to be able to stomach Hannah Berner, which is very tough.
Right.
And then,
so, I mean, these are like sold out
Paige,
tours
who's
that
just
we're
miserable. She's miserable.
I would love to see one of these tours. How entertaining are these tours? I don't even listen to
I'm
Giggly
just not
Squad
a fan.
podcast. I don't
but
know.
I just hope there's a soft place to land for Paige. That's what I hope.
Well, I don't even know what I think for her.
I don't either. I don't think she really cares. So maybe better to her. I think she does care. I think she's just kind of lost in this
facade. Right
lost in this whole thing. You know, but
yeah.
they even say too that, you know, Bravo, when you're up, you're up. When you're down, you're down. When the fans are with you, they're with you. When they're not, they're not. And when the show goes off, how quickly we forget.
Yes.
And that is the truth.
Yes.
Look at how the housewives kind of get forgotten. Not the big ones, but a lot of these franchises, if they're not on TV, nobody knows who the hell they are when they're, you know what I mean? Even if they're popular, like Salt Lake.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Sure. I mean, like, once you're absolutely right. Once the show ends and the season's over, we really is anyone thinking of, say, like Heather Dubrow right now? You know what I mean?
Right. Until they're back in the news. Right.
Like 6 months ago, we're like, who's that?
Right.
But they're not like in the spotlight.
Right. Unless they really keep it up or they get super lucky with something else. But I don't know how much longer Summer House has in it. It's a great show. It's just how much. And even if they do give them more contracts, who's really going to be watching after a while? Like, you're burning out your crowd.
Yeah.
You had Lindsay on there playing pregnant volleyball. Like, something has to give.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it might be, you know. So we'll see. So let's get into Southern Charm. We had the finale.
What'd you think?
I thought it was more. Sorry, not the finale, the reunion. It was more Paige and Craig.
Oh, yeah. We're getting fatigued.
Here's a piece of news that's not about Paige and Craig, even though we will talk about a few things about them. But Leva will be stepping away.
Totally not surprised.
But she says she will be there. So this is what was confusing. She said, I'll be there when they need me.
Yeah.
But I'm stepping away, sort of. I'll be there when important things happen.
She'll poke in.
But she's basically like, not there. I mean, she basically wasn't there this season either.
She wasn't really. No, she came at the end. Like
she was
kind of there for Venita. She was there for Venita, but that was
she
kind
was
of
around on the phone more than anything.
Yeah, and she's sort of a friend to JT too. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, which I'm glad because I think JT needs a little bit of
mediator.
A friend. Yeah, she's also another one who's skews older for that show, but the whole I mean, Shep is
she's about 45. She's like Shep's age,
but she's also like a normal functioning human being. She has a business with kids,
she's very level-headed,
and a family. Like she's, you know,
responsible, level-headed.
She's not frolicking around the Grenadines.
Yes.
You know where he was when he found out that Paige and Craig broke up, and Austin's like, "What does that have to do with anything? Yeah. What does that have to do with?" Like, we don't care you were in the Grenadines, Shep. I could care less.
And also, we haven't really been watching Southern Hospitality, right?
Oh, I can't.
But this season's supposed to be amazing.
I bet you it's good.
That's her show.
Listen, I'm sure it's good. I just can't commit. Like, and the Valley's coming up, and that's going to really be all that I think I can handle.
I agree. I agree.
Oh, and Madison shows up preggo. We all knew that, but she
adorable.
Looks cute with her little baby belly.
Yeah, she's having a girl.
And something that confused me, maybe you can help me. Maybe you know this or have read this or know this somewhere.
Yeah.
JT, you know, even Andy Cohen said, JT, the last time I checked, you had quit.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, my inner I was able to silence my inner bitch. And
so does that mean he's
quieted today? So is he there? Is he?
That's a good question.
Quitting? I don't know if he's.
How does Bravo take to that? Does Bravo get mad when people do that and go, "Yeah, you're out then because you quit"?
Well, Tamara just quit, and now she's back. Oh. She's got her level head. She quit on her social media, and now she's like, "Oh, I'm feeling better now." You know, so
bipolar Tamara.
But yeah, Tamara, I have autism, Tamara.
I have autism.
Please. I can't even joke about it.
I have one little ounce of sympathy for her because of Teddy. That's it.
What does Tamara have to do with Teddy?
Well, they're like best friends.
I don't
Teddy's
think
got
I don't think Tamara,
brain tumors.
I don't think Tamara's
cancer.
Best friends with anybody, to be honest with you. And I don't feel bad for her at all. And I don't think she also has autism either. So
no, that was pretty disgusting that she did that.
Yeah, grossed out by that. However,
one therapy appointment.
I do shout out to Teddy. Hopefully she's doing well.
Yes.
All right. So it was more Paige and Craig shit. I have to say I did love Craig's light midnight blue tux.
Mm-hmm.
Very good call.
Very
I love
debonair.
a midnight. But again, if you look at him, he just shrivels back for me to season like 1, 2, and 3, where
when
he's
he was
just
skinny Admiral Craig.
When he was Admiral Craig. And he was dating Naomi, and he's like, "Here, Naomi, here's a ring, and one day we can get married and stuff." I mean, he's just, I just, it's hard to move past that.
Yeah, I know. But he's hanging around with all these Peter Pans, right? So it's like hard. It's like he's trying to get out of that. I'm not blaming Shep and Austin and all that. I'm not. It's just you are the company you keep.
Of course.
So,
which is why he was not keeping company with those fellas no more.
Yes.
However,
yes.
Andy Cohen seemed to pull our little friend, put our little friend Craig on the fire, and he didn't call him a liar, but he said, "Do you think you weren't entirely telling the truth?" When he said that he broke up with Paige. Paige had called him. Or they talked right before he went on live with Austin at one of their Pillows and Beer tours, right?
His tour.
So he said, but then on Watch What Happens Live, you came on and said that everything was fine. And then they showed the clip and that, blah, blah, blah. And he said, "Do you think you weren't entirely telling the truth? Like, were you still together?" And Craig
he was
like,
not telling the truth.
Well,
but you know what it is? I don't think that they officially talked about announcing it. That's a huge announcement.
Right. And he also
said, "I don't want it to be real."
Right. And he said they were talking all of December.
Yeah.
And he didn't want it to be true. And I think that was fine. I took his answer on that.
I think it took her a while to really say, okay, we're ending it. You could break up and then you're sort of like hanging around still a little bit and talking.
And they did talk all of December, but
she
said
probably herself wasn't 100% sure she really wanted to officially end it. And the ball's been in her court since day one.
Well, then he said she announced it on our podcast, and then all my shit showed up on my porch.
Yeah, that was sad.
I was like, poor Craig.
Felt for him.
Like, I never would have left.
Okay.
I don't feel bad for Craig, no.
He never would have left. I do think he was a good... Was he a horrible boyfriend?
No, I don't think so.
I'm like, am I watching a different...
No,
I don't understand it. It's like,
but
I know.
She also
we're getting the side that Paige is explaining, but I'm like... Who was the better person in that relationship?
She also said
he was cooking for her. He made a beautiful house for her. He was catering to her. Get me this, get me that. It seemed like she didn't give a shit the whole time. Now, maybe that's what we
that's
just
her
saw.
I don't give a shit attitude.
Scenes.
However, I was going to say something and I can't remember it. It was right there.
Oh, I went on my rant.
Right on there on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember, but it was something
If it snaps back,
it was something good.
Throw it back in.
Anyway, so
I don't see where, it's like, if I go.
On her podcast, she said Craig was the best boyfriend she's ever had. And he said that, and I remember her saying that.
Okay, when did she say that?
She said that on when she broke up. She said, "I'm not mad.
So why is she saying that? And now it's totally
right." He's like,
too.
and then Craig's like, "Look, I don't care what she's saying. She's weaving all these things with her friends. At the end of the day, I know who we dated." And she goes, "This person that I'm hearing and what she's saying now, I don't remember dating. Like this wasn't the person I dated." So I think Craig is handling this very, very classy.
I agree.
He is saying, he's like, "I was the one who was broken up with. And I'm just trying to move on with my life."
Yeah, and it's true.
But what I'm concerned about, I will say, with this new Natalie Buffett, I am worried she's an influencer. Like, I feel like Craig needs to find himself a little blonde Charleston girl who has no sights on anything other than marriage and kids.
Yeah.
Because who knows if this woman is going to, hang on for all the followers and then bye-bye, Craig.
Yeah.
Who knows how serious it is? He didn't say. He just said, "I'm happy."
Yeah.
So I don't know.
She's a bit younger. I think she's in her like 27, 28.
I don't know. Like a slam dunk that Craig could find a little girl, a little blondie in Charleston who wants to have kids.
For sure. Like Sally.
But
maybe.
And he's like,
They're
not
always
Sally.
that out there.
Everybody's like, it's not Sally.
It would have been cute. She fits that description though, don't you think? She really seems like she wants to settle down, be with somebody. She seems like she has eyes for Craig. So
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
That was kind of it. And then I don't know. Can we just like take a break on the Paige and Craig because I'm so done with it.
I know.
Oh, it's so over, and it was so 6 months ago. He must be like, somebody kill me.
I know.
Why do I have to keep talking about this?
He even on Watch What Happens Live, he looked like, oh, here we go. We got to talk about it again.
JT and Madison.
Okay, so
Madison,
they made the sad thing is they were making amends, but then he kind of
she said she was sorry
at the end. And she's
because
like,
he wanted to keep it going. She's like, well, now that you did that, we're gonna finish it. It was about the phone call and that he was making Brett out to sound jealous.
Yeah,
and he's like, Brett's not jealous, and she's like, I'm sorry for that. And then he said, well, let's turn the tables. What if I was married and I called you with my wife, and wouldn't you feel uncomfortable? Don't tell me how I'd feel, JT.
Yeah.
Then she was getting mad at him again.
Yeah, she was getting mad.
So,
okay. What I'm taking away from this particular reunion is that JT might come back.
I hope so.
I do too. I really do not
He's
hate this guy.
I like him. He's a pot stirrer, and I like it.
He's a pipsqueak.
He's a little pipsqueak.
He's a little bit of a twerp.
He's a little fly in the ointment.
He's a fly in the ointment. But
as I say every week,
Die
Hard.
He kind of jazzes it up in there.
Monkey in the wrench.
He's a monkey in the wrench.
He is, and he's fun about it.
He's fun. And now that him and Venita are at the place they're at, I'd like to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, she hates him now, right?
I didn't realize when they get to basically it ends on Venita and JT, right? But they started out with the two of them, and he says, there was a lot of in the beginning. They said in the beginning they showed all the clips of it. They thought that JT and Venita were a fake storyline. This reeks of fake and trying to have a storyline. And then he was like, "What do you think of that, Venita?" And she's like, "They can all fuck off."
Oh, good for her.
And I was like, good.
So it was real, whatever they
had. And JT was like, oh, no, it was definitely happening. So I never even heard that it was fake for a storyline.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. There were some articles floating around about it, but no, I didn't think it was fake. But what I did like was when Andy said it looks like, the F-boy exorcism.
Oh, that was
It
funny.
went from Austin into you. And he was like,
He's like, oh,
no, but I didn't fuck her.
Right.
But
oh my God, I know.
That made it kind of like,
so what did you, and Andy's
really
like, why aren't you guys banging? Because she's like, tell him, did we? And he was like, no, we just made out. And they were like, yeah, you should be doing that to know if it, they were trying to take it slow, I guess.
I think what happened was, and the weird thing too, was that it seemed like she did know about this girlfriend.
Well, he was hiding her all season.
Yeah, I think he
for the
was
first
trying
few
to
months.
Figure out, talk about being, the F-boy. He's trying to figure out which one do I want.
Well, no, that is an F-boy move. He hid her from production. That's him not showing his life.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she said, wait, you mean you went over to Venita's house knowing she cooked you this dinner and you had a girlfriend? He was like, well, you see, it gets tricky there because we're also best friends. And he's like,
he was trying to figure it out.
I think. But then Venita goes to get her phone because he basically said his girlfriend sent Venita like some bad DMs or mean, and she was like,
she said after the teaser went out.
Right, and you have to say something to her for me. And then she said, you know what, JT, she put the brakes on, like, I need a minute. And then he was like, you ghosted me for a week and it really hurt my feelings. And then he came out.
Yeah.
And she's like, why didn't you just tell me or whatever? And she's like, I did. And then she runs to get her phone.
And that's where it leaves off. One more question.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Sienna Shep stuff?
Oh, God.
Because there was a part I couldn't follow. She wanted this. I think she wanted a man with a lot of money. Right? That came up, and she wanted this $10 million house.
I think she probably just said, I like that house, buy it for me. And I don't think there was anything really behind it. I think Shep's just trying to make himself feel better by saying that. Like, oh, really, Shep? She's 26. She didn't like your 45-year-old alcoholic ass.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Oh, because you didn't have enough money? No, Shep. Because you're you. That's why. She didn't like you.
But something came up about the Denver Broncos, and she went to some conference.
Something. Yeah, they know the coach.
And there was a guy, and I couldn't follow that. But it was something about karma.
I don't know.
Did she make a move on a guy who had a black Amex card?
Yeah, and then maybe he didn't want her.
He didn't want to be with her. Okay, maybe that was it.
What I took away from
I was like, I'm not following this.
I just kind of was like, I don't really care.
I don't care.
More of Sienna. And my last thought, which was interesting, again, Shep trying to shirk all responsibility before we wrap it up here, which was, he goes, so Andy was like, do you really want to get married again? And blah, blah, blah. And he was like, you know what? I like the idea of someone who doesn't need me.
Yeah.
Okay, Shep.
Simple
God
enough.
forbid anybody depend on you.
Yeah.
Your little Craig, your dog, like, God forbid you have responsibility for another human. So,
yeah, I know.
I don't know. Not that impressed, to be honest.
Mm.
And there we are until next week.
We'll see what is it. I thought it was 3 parts. the reunion.
Oh God, I don't know if there's the strength for three
Maybe
parts
just
of
one
this.
more.
I hope to God
Maybe
it's only
just
one
one
more. I hope to God. What else are we going to droll over?
After that is probably when the Valley starts.
Oh, on the 15th of April.
Oh, I can't wait.
So the Valley will begin. All right, we will be back on Thursday with Atlanta and Beverly Hills first reunion.
That's going to be fun to
give me strength. I don't know. But thank you for listening, and we will see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.